All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, how are we all doing? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another edition of the London session. So guys, time to get this show on the road. So without further ado, let's get the party started. And guys, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. As I mentioned, welcome to another edition of the London session. Hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you all had a good day or a good night or a good morning. And we are looking at the gold here today as per usual. Guys, you know the drill. If you could, YouTube, please be sure to hit that like button. TikTok, smash that little screen for me. Let's get the masses onto the stream and let's have a good one, guys. First of all, let's take a look at the news to see if there is anything that may impact our session here today. I mean, generally speaking, London session, there isn't a great deal that will impact gold, but it's important to check it. Nonetheless, we do have some high impact Swiss news, which could have a bit of an impact on the euro, even the pound. So just be wary of that. Anyone who does trade the Swiss franc, something to be obviously wary of in 30 minutes into, or 30 minutes pre-London actually. Big day today. You do have ADP to come. That is 15 minutes into the MI session with ISM services PMI to follow. So a lot of news ahead when it comes to the US session. So please be wary of that for guys who are, guys and ladies who are trading into MI session. But guys, let's have a good one. Any charts, any questions, anything you'd like me to look at, please feel free to pop those into the chat and I will be sure to get to you guys shortly. Meantime, what I am looking at is some potential gold buys. So let's just go over the analysis. First of all, starting the weekly time frame, and what we can see is we are forming at this rate a bearish candle, but what we do have is bullish candle probabilities being to the upside. So what we have is a higher low, higher high. We are almost at our open. So it definitely wouldn't surprise me if we do in fact flip back bullish and begin to head back up. Onto the daily time frame. Wow, look at this. This is probably the most powerful entry you could possibly imagine now on the higher time frame picture of the daily. I mentioned this to my members last night my time on a members only call. I limit that daily interruption, and look what happened. It tapped in and it's bounced straight off it. You've been some significant profit. Took a tiny entry myself, but a small entry still reaps some dividends. So absolute cracking trade. So anyway, hopefully some of my members took it, but nonetheless, what we can see in a daily is previous daily did tap into that pause candle, has since bounced off current candle, approached the high but failed to break it, and is now approaching its low again. So let's just mark in a low also of the current daily to see what we've got below that point. Make our way onto the 4 hour, and structurally we are bullish. We are about to close this candle. We are closing potentially strong bearish. As far as support resistance, we're not at a support. This will confirm resistance, so we'll just mark that in. Support, we've still got a bit of margin to the downside. I'm just going to do that for the time being, and I'll adjust it accordingly on the M15 time frame. All right, so in the M15, what I'm going to do is just drag that across to the more recent levels of price action. I'm going to use that zone just there, and that will be my 4 hour support. And what I can see is, guys, however, we have pulled back to a level of support form within the Asian session, and we are so far respecting it. So I'll change that to the gray. We are consolidating above that point there. Just drag this down a bit. So what I want to see is, again, this is one of the ones where I always say to you guys, you need to ask yourself, irrespective of the structure, irrespective of the bias, technically speaking, structure on the M15 minute time frame here is still bearish. However, based on where we're at the support form during the Asian session. If price was to, and that's also support form prior to the Asian session, if price was to engulf on this M15 candle, that to me would be a pretty strong indication and definitely a catalyst, a price action catalyst to suggest we could be ready to bounce off this support to make the move back up towards the current daily candles high. So off the back of that, if we have a strong closure, I will look for the buy. Now, it has to be bullish engulfing. If it's not bullish engulfing, what it suggests to me is we're still consolidating. So how do I know? How can I trust that this candle is going to be the one to make the move without that confirmation? So I would need to wait for a further opportunity, further option and just avoid the initial move if it does just in fact rip to the upside. So again, I want to see a strong bullish engulfing candle here, and then I will consider the buy options. Now onto the sells, because other than that, I'm only seeing potential sells. So the sells could be again on the pullback. So where it's to, we've got resistance formed a little bit lower down to the actual 4-hour high. So we're just going to adjust this to that point there. So really, we've already tapped in twice, and this is something I spoke about to my members as well. So we don't necessarily need to pull the way back to that resistance again. As long as we just pull back and have the right confirmation and we create that lower high, I would look for a potential sell from really anywhere, either at the resistance or below upon the pullback. Further sell options, what I do like about the current price action is that we have in fact triggered in some more buys at the support formed at the Asian session lows. So if price was to now wipe those buyers out, close below support, we do have some relatively clean traffic in that level below 42.02. We're likely going to pop back below 4200 as well. So sells below 42.0280 to be exact is also something I would definitely be considering moving forward on the gold. So simple, pretty simple plan to follow, guys. Hopefully it makes sense. If it did, make sure to hit the like button, smash that screen. Even if it didn't, make sure to hit the like button, smash that screen. Now let's have a good one, team. 3.5 minutes remaining on this candle. Once again, we want it to close bullish engulfing. Let's have a look at the 5 minute just quickly. All right, so 5 minute, the resistance is a little bit higher up. We're not so concerned by that. Again, the single candle catalyst for me would be the 15-minute bullish engulfing. That would be enough to suggest we're ready to continue bullish. Quickly look at GJ chart. I prepared a little earlier for the team. Just consolidating within a 4-hour range. I would literally just let it create a move to either end of the range and see how price reacts to it, or potential opportunities. GU, I've not marked. Yeah, I had just recently marked up the chart. Bullish, 15-minute structures, bullish, daily counter probabilities, bullish. Has flipped to more of an uptrend. I would prefer to trade it in line with the uptrend. However, structure would flip back bearish in the M15 if it closes below this support at 132.345. So if it did close below, sells will look okay. Otherwise, I'd be looking for potential buys upon the pullback or continuation buys when it comes to GU. So pretty simple on GU as well. That's a quick wrap up and update of some pairs here today, and let's focus on the gold, seeing we've got just over 2 minutes remaining on this candle. See if it does present a potential option, looking like it may be rejecting just now. In the meantime, TikTok and YouTube, how are we going, guys? Franco, good morning to you. Candy Cane, good morning. Carl, good morning to you. TikTok, to the 80 plus of you on stream. Good to see quite a few people about early. Welcome one and all. Thank you to the new followers. News, guys, I did record another educational video today, and that will be posted to YouTube possibly this evening. Could be tomorrow though, probably more likely tomorrow. I'm still finishing editing it up, and that will also eventually make its way to TikTok, maybe a day or so later. So be on the lookout for that. TikTok, there will be another fragrance review coming later as well, so keep an eye out for that. All right, just over a minute. Doesn't look like it's going to close bullish engulfing. Nutchillis, g'day to you. Welcome. Heard the dollar will be strong this week. Dollar's been weak this week. You got the majors pumping. Gold is... See, that's the thing, guys. When people say, look at DXY, it's pumping or dumping, whatever. Gold is forming a bearish weekly candle. All the majors are bullish. So that would suggest that the DXY is likely bearish, and as is gold. So that's why I'd say just focus on the pair that you're trading. I think it's definitely, obviously, correlates more inversely to the majors itself. But when it comes to gold, just focus on gold as a scalper. It's a one say more to you. User, you think silver will correct now as it's very high. It's just natural that markets can't, always trend. So at some point, yes, it will make pullbacks. I'll have a look at it in a sec. We're about to close here on gold. All right, so we're not, definitely don't have the confirmation, so we need to wait. Silver to me is the opportunity of a lifetime. I've been accumulating physical for 4 years or so now. To me, it is in a massive strong uptrend. It is leading the way at the minute with the precious metals. Yeah, so we'll make some pullbacks. Look, the $50 days could be be gone, to be honest. A destination I would be looking for price to pull back to is the previous resistance back at 54.50 roughly, and it'd be good opportunities to stack some more silver at that point. So personally, I'm just every weekend I'm buying, every single weekend, and as just DCAing into an asset I have full conviction in that will continue to print, you know, in the future. So as we can see, things don't go always straight up in a line though. They do make pullbacks. Yes, it will make a pullback, but again, it's in a big strong uptrend. Nothing yet suggests it's going to make a bigger sell-off. So that is my personal opinion of the silver. Absolutely love my silver. I prefer gold if we're talking about jewelry and that type of thing, but as a long-term play, I prefer silver. Once it's still on sale, please. Maybe. Not chillers buy at 41.85. 41.85. Yeah, it's a distance off, but I see what you mean. The support, yep. Not Julian Low. When should I buy? I took a short at 42.24. 42.24. You right the high. It's at support, so you should definitely be at break even. You should have secured some profit. It just depends what your plan is on this trade, mate. Because it could bounce off this level. Oh, it's that guy. I'm looking for 42.20 max, and London will be a distribution phase for scalps. 42.20. Yeah, possibly. Could come up to that point. Got it at 42.03 for buy, waiting for 42.20, and London session will be distribution phase for scalps. Okay. Fair enough. At least you got a plan. And please check in queue for me whenever you can. I will do so. 0D, g'day to you. Nachilus. You always buying gold? Yeah, look, when it comes to physical, so am I. I'm not planning on selling it. Probably never, to be honest. I'll just hand it down to my son. That's what I'll be doing. Duante, can I buy now? If you want. I don't have the confirmation. Check NQ. I'll check NAS because NQ have got a delayed feed. That's a chart from yesterday, the members. So again, it's going to be very similar either way. So let's just use this chart. Weekly, strong bullish, and Bitcoin as well. So it seems to be risk on, and that is possibly off the back of the probabilities of the Fed yet again cutting rates. So I think it's pretty much already been confirmed without it being confirmed, if you know what I mean. So off the back of that, we've got the risk on assets pumping in. Nasdaq looking like it could again come up to the all-time high resistance. Looking at the weekly, daily almost pulled back to the interruption there, not quite. It's at some resistance on the daily, so it's at a pretty strong level at the current level 26,650-ish. We do have counter probabilities being bullish, but it's hard to ignore the level it's at. Onto the 4-hour. Structurally, that is also bullish. So the bias is definitely bullish, but it's these levels that it's currently at. It's at one resistance. You're going to mark in another level to the upside. As far as support, we'll mark in this as the most recent. We'll make our way down to the M15 time frame. Wow, how's that? These interruption entries, that's the cluster one that played out in the 4-hour today. 15-minute time frame here is technically bullish in structure, or is it? No, it is. It's technically bullish, and it will remain bullish at this rate as long as it remains above this support, in my personal opinion. But however, it doesn't mean I wouldn't be interested in selling it. Reason being is because that's some strong resistance on the 4-hour and on the daily time frame. What we have just recently done is literally tap into the most recent support, bounce off and create more support. So therefore, if we were to continue bullish, there would not be much of a need for price to pop back below that level of support at 25.60. If we do so, it's a high probability that we will be rejecting a 4-hour resistance back below that minor support and end up back towards the lows at 25,540. So definitely be keen on the sells below, but also be keen on continuation buys. Although it's at the 4-hour resistance, we have triggered in sellers multiple times at the level. We wipe those sellers out. It is actually quite clean on the minor time frame here, so good chance for a continuation buy above the resistance at this 25.42, 43 sort of region. And it would definitely be of interest. So just whatever that is on NQ, and obviously pull back buys. That's pretty much how I'd see it. Anything in between at the minute is just a little bit difficult because of the consolidation. However, if it does create a nice clean move down, maybe pop below support only to pop back above it, perhaps that could give you a potential buy option as well moving forward on NAS. So that's my opinion. Back to the goal. So we need some strong closures here. We've got just under 9 minutes. Waiting to see if you can catch a buy 41.86. That's your price interest. Naturalist, fair enough. Demand taken up by read that. Best entry for buy, please. The entry that gives you the right confirmation. Steve Chamberlain, g'day to you. It's been a while. Yeah, not a long time no see. All good, mate. All good. You've been missing out on the fun. Hope you're well. Always good to have you on the stream. And welcome. Granting gold inversely correlates with NASDAQ of late. Possibly, I haven't paid attention. Possibly. It's a Forex key. Most disciplined trader in the game. Legendary. Oh, thank you, mate. I like to, you know, pride myself on my discipline. But even then, look, yesterday... Honestly, yesterday's trade should have been either a break even or a loss, or a tiny win. It ended up being a really good win because chose not to manage it when it got to that 12+ pip profit. Came back to the entry, didn't manage it there, didn't manage it when it closed pretty strong in the opposite direction to my trade in significant drawdown. Didn't manage it at all as it broke the high of that counter, closed back bullish, and it got within about half a pip of my stop loss before it dumped in our direction and took good profits on it. So, but again, I spoke to my members about that as well. It's, you need to accept the risk, and if you can accept the risk, and if it's to be a loss and you can handle it, then fair game. So good result yesterday. Good start to the month. Ranting, what's my views on silver 4-hour bearish engulfing? Got enough time to have a look at it, so let's do so. It's tapped into that interruption, so potential point where it could bounce off. To be honest, it's very bullish. As far as continuation, you want to be back below that candle's low. Current candle has already had an hour to form. For me, what I'd be looking at in silver, if you're looking at short-term entries, I'd be looking at buys above this support. So a resistance, sorry, buys above 58.20 roughly. And if it does reject, you're probably going to need to wait for it to retest the low, to be honest, because there isn't really any margin below this support. You got more below the low. I think there's a good chance it could come back down to 57.17 roughly. If it does begin to break the low off the daily candle, let it break it, let it retest, and let's see how price reacts to it for that potential sell option. Back to the gold. Peter, g'day to you. Good afternoon. Had 3 good setups on gold. Missed them all today. Sucks having to work. Yeah, it is what it is, mate. But as you probably already know, it's important just to remain calm and patient. And you might hopefully get another opportunity. Omar, check gold. Yep, I'm on gold. There's no impulse entry here. I need to wait for closures. Joshua Matt, how do you, when a support or resistance area no longer, how do you know when a support and resistance area is no longer valid? Pretty much when price just wipes out the area. So if we, for instance, melt and we don't even retest, there's a good chance that, and if it pulls back and doesn't quite pull back to retest, there's a good chance that zone's no longer relevant. But what I always suggest is leave it in, because if it does break, wait and see our price. If it does approach it, because it's likely going to at some point, see if it's going to pull back and retest it and continue away from it. And if that's the case, then to me it's no longer of any interest. The resistance will be from the high of whatever, you know, the impulse started from, and a new support will be from where the new support starts from. That's your new range, and that, you know, obviously becomes your relevant levels of support resistance. I did do a video on marking in zones, which I uploaded last week on YouTube and TikTok, so make sure to watch that. That will also help clarify that answer a little bit further. All right, so we want this to close really strong here, guys. We can look at a 5 minute yet again. 5 minutes just consolidating. And a good question, by the way, Joshua. That's the questions I like. Steve, all good too. Just took time away from charts. Was taking over my life. Yeah, it happens, mate. I understand that feeling. Is that your house? Looks like you've been doing well. No, it's not, mate. It's a green screen background. Although my actual house in Thailand is quite a nice house, to be honest. It's huge. But yeah, not there at the minute, so I'm back in Oz. Yared, buy bias, right? From the current level, yes, more of a buy bias. But if we begin to pop below the support, I will look for potential sells. Marco, thank you for the sticker as always. Do appreciate it, my friend. The Wante entry number, no idea, because there is no confirmation. NG, potentially. Look at this projection. So hence why impulse entries in this situation are extremely dangerous, guys. Really dangerous. Because why wouldn't have this candle made the move? I mean, why didn't even this candle make the move? Broke high of that the liquidity candle, left a long wick into the zone and needs to close back above it. This candle tried to break, ended up closing back below the resistance. This candle rejected again. So at the minute, we're just consolidating at the support. There is no confirmation. We need to wait for it. Simply either a strong closure above it, retest continuation, or a strong closure below it, retest continuation. Now, there is the chance that what price could do is just literally this. This could happen. We're not in it. Well, I'm not in it. Some of you might be. If that's the case, I need to reassess, and what I can look for is secondary entries such as the interruption entry, which most of you will know what I'm talking about by now. Or if it does this, same thing. Nothing I can do without the right confirmation. So I need to reassess and see what presents moving forward. My team, let me share with you a link. Apologies for being a little bit slow with it. Really enjoyed yesterday's members only session. We actually did a lot of education. We did a sim session as well while we were having a look at the live charts. It was really good. So if anyone is interested, still have that special promo. It's only for the next 2 days, guys, and the promo will end. So you get VIP at 20% off the lifetime of your membership, whether it be monthly payments or annual. It includes everything, access to everything. The course, which I did update the support resistance entries for my team today. I did the latest videos for that, so that will be added to the course shortly. I just need to add the text and all that for it as well. So that's underway. That's good news for my team. Plus, all the members only calls, which are between 3 and 5 days a week. and plus a lot more education that's already been recorded. Grainy entries is the probably, that is massive. It's probably pretty much just the abbreviated version of the course itself. That's another part of the actual VIP that you guys get access to. All right, close back, strong bearish. No entries here, we're still above support. Needs to calmly and patiently wait, my friends. Sebastian, good morning to you. Hope you're well. My YouTube member, hope you're doing well, my friend. Welcome, welcome. You'll have access to possibly today to the video that we'll be uploading before, as you are a member. Members get access a little bit earlier. Steve, I think for this month, gold going to grab more equity from the downsides. Get ready for early up target 5,000 next year, possibly. To be honest, I would actually like that because I do want to purchase some more. I mean, a good way to get involved in physical gold, guys, if you, because I know it's expensive, and I know you're paying more of a premium if you're doing this, but if you can buy 1/10 of an ounce, 1/10 ounce coins, it's still got a lot of value. But obviously, you're paying a much higher premium, so it's got to get to basically an all-time high for you to cover your cost. But again, if you have conviction in an asset, which I do, I still think it's a pretty good buy. Sebastian, I love those emojis. Cheers. Back to you, TikTok. Shan, are you going to enter once you have confirmation? For sure, if I have the confirmation. Xeon, someone on a different live is on sell, is speculating that it will go down to way 4160. Well, that's fair enough, as long as they're following their plan. Everyone has to agree with what one's doing, plus the fact they might be or most definitely trading a different way than I trade. So good luck to that person. Wish them all luck. Al Rahman, can we take a sell now? Dangerous. It's at support and it's really struggling to break through it. What do you say about order block? Support and resistance, that's what I say. To me, that's all it is. JB Physique, how do you execute trade position? MetaTrader 5 is the terminal that's connected, that's downloaded and connected through my broker. So I could actually execute on TradingView. My broker does have access to it. However, I have no idea why IC Markets runs at a 2-minute delay here. I have no idea, and it looks different than my broker's chart, so completely throws me off because this says we've got 13 minutes, just under 14 minutes left in this candle, and this says we've got just under 12 minutes. Peter, where? Well, you seeing your own Oz. Attainable for you, so I'll type it into the chat. Yeah, they're really reputable, ASIC regulated, never had an issue. They've even got storage options. And to me, I found they've got the best premiums, the cheapest premiums. But it's been tough, so that's this company here actually. But it's been tough because there is not that much to choose from. There used to be about 8 pages full of silver in itself. Now there's literally like 2 or 3. So yes, I avoid this stuff, to be honest, because you're paying massive premiums on it. So unless you're gifting someone something for Christmas, I suppose it's a decent idea. But what I pick up is just basically the lowest premium Australian sovereign coins. So most of the time it's just the kangaroos. That's platinum kangaroo, that's the silver kangaroo. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I do. Occasionally I'll buy something slightly different, just to have a bit of a different coin to look at from time to time. But yeah, that's how I go about it. No affiliation too, but maybe I should. Maybe shoot them up. KSS Multimedia, I think gold will sell more at this level. We'll see, mate. It could. Ghetto BTS possibilities are favoring buy. As long as we remain above this support, I believe that could be the case as well. Yared, that's physical silver, physical gold. Not the paper shit that we're trading. This, if you own it, it's yours. Steve, next target, 4,063 is the deepest support zone where downside could extend to. That's where I'd be looking to buy and hold for the next 6 months. 4,063. Let me look at it on the high time frames. As in, let me look at it in daily. Yeah, I agree. Could come back to that point there. Doesn't necessarily have to, but I think that would be a really good accumulation zone. But I've heard a lot of people say it's too late if you haven't been already buying gold. It's too late. It's never too late because gold is a store of value. It's a hedge against fiat crap paper money. It's something that unless they steal it, someone steals it from you, it's pretty stupid if you don't have proper storage for it. It can't be taken away from you. It's not digital. As long as you got physical stuff. So I've got silver coins sitting here. I just love to have one here, but I don't store it here. Literally got just a couple coins just to have it. Shown this before. Don't really want to touch it with my skin because the oils can tarnish it after a while. That is a pure silver kangaroo. So 3.9's fine, 4.9's fine. I think it's 3.9's fine. I don't have gold here to show you guys. Actually, no, I don't think I do. I don't. Ainsley Auto Solutions, I have 4100 to 4087 marked up. Okay, fair enough. We're far off it, so I'm not all that concerned by it, to be honest. Some Clothing Co. Welcome to you. Can I pay you to coach me one-on-one? I do have one-on-one options. It's not something I do much of lately because of just the time constraints. It does consume a fair bit of time. But anyway, if you are interested in any of the coaching options, the mentorship, private coaching, the links are all on my profile page. Just click the WAP link and that will guide you. I think the private coaching's on there. If not, just send me an email. Pretty sure it was though. Ainsley was in response to 4067. Oh, fair enough. Not a problem, mate. Q, my frame, so 15 and 5. But I would look at the high time frames as well. Legend, should we do entry in, sell, or buy? Nothing at the minute, it's just consulting. Patience. Tommy, more into you, brother. Did I ever mention it last night at my time, obviously for the members only call, that I may just place a cheeky little buy limit at that daily interruption. Look at that, mate. It's one of the ones I was saying to the members, you just go small entries and you just don't stress it. Your stop loss is going to be below the low. The amount of times we've seen it play out, it is a very highly probable entry, and just let it do its thing. Don't look at it too often. You know, maybe check it every few hours once you're up just to see where it's at. But I've closed most of it. I only had a small position, so just to test it out. I've literally got like a cent lot running, to be honest. So, but it's still doing wonders. Yeah, so it was nice trade. Ainsley, what I mean is potentially waiting for price to come back to that. Yeah, look, potentially, yeah. Do you think it goes up or down? I have a crystal ball, mate. I react to what I see happening. At the moment, it looks like it's going down. It has to get through support, so I'm not gonna predict because it's not what I do. if I was to predict, this is kind of a bit of a contradiction to what I just said. I don't predict, but if I was to predict, we're going up, but it might not be from this point. It might pull back further, because again, I believe gold is just gonna continue to the moon, but it might pull back further, and we could have sell options shortly, guys. Now, a few things to consider. Stop loss. Look, it just depends where this closes. It has to close below, or it comes down to pure price action. What I mean by that, similar to yesterday, falling candle has to open straight down without an upper wick, pull back, create the upper wick, reject, and break its own low again. And that would be another way to get involved if it doesn't close below. So let's keep an eye on it, guys. So what I suggest doing, if anyone is interested and following along and agrees with a potential entry, what you probably need to do right now is focus on whatever the lowest point on this candle is on your brokerage chart, and you could potentially be looking at an entry just a couple pips below that point, but we need the right confirmation. So for me, the lowest point is 420278. So 420250 would be the level I'd be considering getting involved. But still a lot of water to flow under a bridge. Still got 3.5 minutes remaining. It could do anything. This rate still not valid. Jones gold sell now. Can I pay you to coach me one-on-one? Again, I've got the links are, well, the link to the WAP, which should have all the links to all the services, is on my profile page. If it's not there for that, then for the private coaching, then just send me an email. Jones, after that comment, goodbye to you. So as you guys know the drill, if you come on here promoting a service, you get the boot straight away. No excuses. So just be careful, guys. Guys, don't forget to follow if you've not already done so. There's over 200 of you on the TikTok stream. Secret star distribution, stop loss 41.64. It's going to 41.64, then buy. It's a little bit confusing. Let's go into discount area. Steve, looks like gold going to break downside and DX to the upside. Oh, okay, is it? Fair enough. Let's keep an eye on gold here. So preferably we want the closure below, guys. Retest and continuation. So if it's going to close below, it's going to create a lower low to the level I mentioned just moments ago. So we just need to focus on that. We have just under 2 minutes remaining. Betting pattern, gold is going down, don't buy it. I'm potentially looking at a sell myself. So Steve, NDX upside push, wait until London open. Okay, fair enough, mate. Again, I'm just going to focus on what I'm seeing here and a potential entry on gold. Ainsley, yep. RP Jones. It's the same treatment anyone else does. They come on here flogging a service. It's only fair. I don't go on anyone else's stream asking for them to follow me, come across and join my group and all that crap. I wouldn't bother. I think it's just low. Right, bit of volatility here on the gold. Trying to pop below the support, but keeps reacting and bouncing off the low of it. So we need to be careful here. Looks like it could be a pure price action entry if there is to be one. So when I spoke about price breaking a low, popping up, create the upper wick, and then rejecting again. It doesn't look like we're going to close below at this rate. Ainsley in Melbourne. So Melbourne Oz. Monte, ooh, look at this, maybe. So it's creating a lower low. We need to leave a lower wick and we need an upper wick on the new candle. Now track the lowest point of the candle on your broker's chart. For me, it's 4202.23, so I'll be looking at 4201.95. Stop loss will be probably above the entry. I'm going to set an order. So I've set an order, guys. Oops, short position. I've set an order at 42. Whoop, I gotta adjust it. 4201.95. Alright, 4201.95. We've closed below, we've left a bit of lower wick, we've pulled back to create an upper wick. If we do reject this zone, you know, at that point it's a high probability that we could continue bearish. So what I'm likely going to do is just, I'm going to have to stop loss. Just going to adjust it to just above. I've got it set here. Stop loss is set for 4204.05 for the time being. But I'll track the highest point of this candle. So not in just yet. All right. Oh, we're in. We're in. And we've got about 6 pips on the table, and I'm going to break even. I'm going to secure half and let the rest run at 11, around 11 pips. I just want to get something on the table. Nice, quick and easy does it. Yeah, so we're moving now, guys. You got about 15 pips on the table. Nice and easy, too easy. Job done. Job done, guys. Simply following the rules yet again. And we are smashing it. Smashing it. Entry, mate, if you do not see that entry, I mean, I could not make it any more clear. Job done. W's again. Oh, geez, almost taking out break even on the runner. So nice work. Made light work of that one. Oops, the main one, download it. Anyone take it? Trusting someone on YouTube took it. Give you. Wow, W, nice one. Franco, W, nice one. Peter, W, nice one. Still just in on the runner. Oh, all right, out. The runner's out. So just a quick scalp. Quick scalp. But not a bad effort, guys. Just a quick in and out. Still in full margin. Steve. All right, so that's a quick one, guys. That's how we roll. I wanted to manage it because after yesterday, a little bit too close for my liking, even though it did end in a win. Got to be a little bit more strict with it and follow what is normally my plan. So did that today, got the job done. Nice quick win. PJ, 19 pips, nice one. Steve, you're looking for 100 pips. That's fair enough, mate. At least you got a plan. That was really quick. And it came back up really quickly. So let's see. I mean, the target, I would be targeting 41.95. But you got 4,200. And that is also pretty much the level it's tapped into. So another reason as to why it could be bouncing, guys. It's also an interruption on the 15 that price is not revisited. Very interesting. Let's just gonna mark it in just to see what happens, because this will be very delayed on the interruption entry. But nicely done. AWS multimeter, you probably shouldn't be waiting, mate. You need to just be quick with it. The way gold is at the minute, and it looks like it's popping straight back up, so need to be really quick with it. Trades taken. So as I mentioned last week, guys, the last 3 weeks or so have been absolutely phenomenal. Sometimes when it rains or pours, we get multitude of opportunities. There's been prior to that where we had a month of really struggling to find a quality entry. We weren't taking losses, we just weren't getting an opportunity to trade often on stream. But there comes times in the markets when things shift a bit and we have options aplenty, and it's been like that for the last 3 weeks to a month. We've been absolutely smashing it. So that takes the win total up to 138 and 34 losses for the stream history. Nice one. 80.23 is the win rate. All right. Al Rahman. So again, I take small profits. I normally manage my trades in drawdown. Let's not talk about yesterday, but it still was a winning trade, guys, so don't at me. But generally speaking, I do manage my trades in a drawdown, so it therefore gives me more of an option to secure some profits a little bit earlier on. Ainsley, snooze you lose, pretty much. That's how gold has been of late. It's been really quick. What I'm going to do is mark in another level just here, guys. Now, price needs to be above this point. Let's just remove this first. Yeah, so now we want to be for buy options. That's the level we want to be above. Now I'm going to leave this zone in for the time being, and we may be removing it shortly. Sunny TP, I've secured, didn't secure a massive amount to be honest, but still a win to win. Still running a really small buy from the interruption on the daily. MakeBeats.co.uk, let's go. Arnold, doing yourself from 4,027. Nice one, mate. NG, no. Wouldn't buy one even if I could afford one, to be honest. Lachlan, thank you for the sticker. I love big cars, mate. I hate sports cars. I hate cars that are low down. Just can't stand it. Too wide for it. Massive shoulders. I'm just pretty big shoulders. Anyway. Nah, really not into sports cars, to be honest. Lachlan, yes. Yeah, it took a quick cheeky sell for some profits, but since reversed and taken a runner out. Arnold and sell now, still on game. It's tapped into the cluster M15 interruption just here. What I don't like about it is it's hovering back towards above the support level. So to me, this is not a quality entry to sell it, but doesn't mean it can't drop from the current level. And you may have a quality entry though, so everyone sees things differently. GL, it's okay for the bullish trend. Potentially. Lachlan, yes, like I mentioned, there has been a sell for some quick profit. Now waiting again. Heavy Metal Bulldogs, g'day to you. I looked at GU earlier in an uptrend. Wow. So I did mention buys above, not saying I would have necessarily taken it, had no lower wick. You guys know how I feel about that. Previous count basically had no upper wick. It's literally, look at these levels, guys. I mean, how often, and I'm not gloating, but it's so true. These levels are respected so often when we come to the charts. Even right now, price tapping into that previous level and rejecting it. We rejected a level up to the upside here. if you've not yet watched the video on how I mark up my charts, you must do so. You really, really must do so. It is huge. So I did upload that and to both TikTok and YouTube last week, so it should be up near the top of the search in my profile page for on either of those two platforms. I will be uploading a video possibly later today, but more likely tomorrow, and that will be covering some common mistakes that traders make trading gold. I think it's a pretty important topic to cover as well. Yeah, so anyway, what would I do with GU? I would still prefer a buy, but I would now just adjust this zone. I know you got a level just below it, so I'd just be looking for pullback buys, to be honest. And where I'd consider selling it, still the same level, because that's where you'll have the structure flip. Josh, all good, mate, no problem. Hopefully I'll catch you later on the members call. Dewante, you're in sell. I wish you luck, my friend. Okay, like button, yeah, that'd be much appreciated. Sebastian, you're AFK for just 5 minutes, and bam, you missed the trade. Oh well, missing. Yeah, it happens, mate, but all good. There could be another opportunity, so as you know, don't stress it. You had to be quick. Had to be quick and manage it. That's why I do suggest having a trade management tool. Such as MagicKeys. There are other ones that you can choose from. Carl, 30-minute IC entry, better than 15 on gold. It's also solid. I mean, well, look at that. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's valid as well. The 30-minute time frame. It's valid across the board. Look, I've even taken it on the 5-minute before and not taken a loss on it. I think I've taken it like twice, but you got to be careful for the 5-minute. You kind of got to use intuition to know when it could be the best time to actually use the 5-minute for that. The best is the daily. That is by far the best. Daily, the 4-hour. But it is reacting to the 30 just there. Mr. Phil, good morning to you. YouTube, please don't forget to smash the like button, guys. Help me out. Anu, you're looking to buy or sell. We're already taking a sell for some small profits. Now we're just waiting to see how price reacts to the blue zone here. So Dewante, nothing at the minute. I already closed that position. Gobby, thank you for sharing a live. Appreciate it. So for Abdi, should I sell if you have the right confirmation? I'm not in a trade at the minute. Already closed that first position. Unit, new Sereni. Unite, sorry. What's the price? The current price, 4206.70. If you want to know the current price, I suggest jumping across to the YouTube stream where you can see the full screen. You get the price scale on the right as well. Itchy nose. Unite, all good. So tomorrow, guys, I will not be on stream. Tomorrow I have my sister's wedding. So I've got to go to that, don't I? Cracking day for it. Wow. Summer has finally arrived in Melbourne. 28 and sunny today. Tomorrow's 33. But finally, we got some warm weather. Been terrible. testing which fragrance I'll wear tomorrow. I think it's Goldfield and Banks Ingenious Ginger. I think that will win with the warmer weather. I absolutely love ginger and fragrances. I think it's such a good note. That spiciness, that kick, it's a point of difference. A lot of fragrances smell quite similar these days, I find. So for Apti, it's reacting really good to the fair value gap. It's reacting really good to the 30-minute interruption. That's what I say. I don't trade fair value gaps. I have no idea where the fair value gap is, to be honest. I don't see one. I literally can't tell you where it is here. But what I can tell you is it's a 30-minute interruption entry. And that's definitely, you'd definitely be at break even. You'd have some 20 pips or so profit on the table. All right, so what it could come down to now is 30-minute closure and the next M15. We're going to wait and see how this closes. Preferably, I want it to close bearish engulfing on the 30. But if we actually do close back below support, then the 30 is going to close potentially weak, really weak bullish, leaving a long upper wick back into the range above. Having rejected that, that could potentially provide another entry to the downside. Peter, well, my wife's working on wedding flowers for tomorrow, I wonder. Oh, why Melbourne? Imagine. Smack bang in the middle of the city too. Steve, back to entry. Nice one. Oh, you could have won on the M30 IC buy. 200 taking a 30 minutes. Yeah, that's again true. Very true. You could have had two entries, one from the downside to the upside and one on that, and you could have just won taking profit and one to the upside. Such a powerful entry, guys. You definitely learned about it first on this stream as well. So again, we just don't get enough love. YouTube. Good to see the numbers have been going up of late. It's a little bit lower today though. So once again, if you guys could smash that like button, it would be much appreciated. Moax. Fair value gap fill? No idea. I don't trade fair value gaps, mate. I don't even know what a fair value gap is here. I'm not gonna lie. Not everyone trades fair value gaps. I see an interruption. It's tapped into that, rejecting it. Mainly Yarra Valley winnings. No idea, mate, to be honest. To be honest, I have no idea where it is. All I know it's in the city and we've got an Uber picking us up. The whole thing is so it's... Yeah, she's going to the registry. So not into anything big, which is fair enough. I understand, nor am I, to be honest. And then we've got reception in the city somewhere, apparently not far from that area. So I have no idea where it is. Could be the one. No idea though. Ricky, you're listening, watching on my way to work every morning. Nice one. Nice one, mate. Yeah, hopefully concentrate on the road while you're on your way to work. Unless you're in the, you know, maybe on a train or bus or whatever. But nah, good to hear you are listening nonetheless. Mucus, no, what for? I don't need to. What I do, let him do what he does, and everyone's happy. I don't need to watch what someone else does, because what I do works. So not everyone has to trade the same way. That's the beauty of trading. You all have different opinion on the charts. I could be looking for a sell, someone could be looking for a buy. I could take profit, and then they could take profit. That's just how it is. So not everyone has to trade fair value gaps. Not everyone has to trade SMC or whatever. That's another thing. I have no idea. You ask me what it is, I'd have no idea how to explain it. I'm assuming it's just buy low, sell high, basically. Of course you're right. Well, Yeah, so I'm not saying what he does is stupid or, you know, not valid. For him it is, and he's probably a very, very good trader. But for me, what I do is, it's also works really well. So why do I need to, you know, go watch how someone else trades and change the way I trade? And I've proven time and time again on stream that what I do works. I've more than 8% win rate. 138 wins for the stream record, which is now in its second year, and 34 losses. So I think that says enough in itself to suggest that I kind of know what I'm doing the way I trade anyway. It works for me. It's not going to be for everyone. I know it's definitely helped a lot of people out though. But yeah, you have to be quick though. That's the thing. These entries sometimes require some really, really quick management. Carl, if you need a hand keeping the brother-in-law in line, we got your back. He's a nice guy, mate. He's a really nice guy. He's very quiet. Yeah, he's a very intelligent bloke. I kind of feel stupid around him, to be honest. It's like those times where you know you're talking to someone really intelligent, you're trying to use big words, but it just comes out all wrong and you make an even bigger fool of yourself. So that's kind of how it feels, but it's all good. It's all good. I think he develops video games as a job and does well, so. And by we, I mean the rest of the chat, not me. Carl runs for the mountains if there's trouble. Peter, hungry time for dinner. That's, yeah. At least you've had a W. I don't blame you, mate. All good. It's almost London session, so I'll stick around for a little bit longer. Yared, fair value up's too confusing. Possibly. Again, I don't know because I just don't trade it. My concern is like which one is the one you use, and I roughly understand what a fair value gap is, but still not 100% certain. Like for me, I mean, is this a fair value gap? Is that one? I think they are, but I'm not too sure, and I'm not sure which one you are to use, so I've not really looked into it because I don't need to. Alexa, good luck. Thank you, and same to you. Fleet pajamas. Just price gap imbalance. Yeah, imbalances. Yeah. Kevin KC from Melbourne. ACT doesn't stand for Australian Capital Territory. It stands for Analyze Confirm Trade. Yeah, I may need to at some point change the name. Fleet pajamas, fair value up just increases the probability of a trade filling to the zone because low resistance. Large OB, fair enough. Kevin, all good. Fleet pajamas, large red candle above isn't fair value. Okay, fair enough. I just see it as a clean candle, basically. That's what I see. See it as. So prior to it, we had a period of consolidation, and price decided to make the move. Seed, win a buy. No, took a quick scalp on a sell, took some quick profits, and now potentially looking for an option to buy it if it closes above this resistance if it presents. So once if you want, you can buy it. We've got 6 and a bit minutes until session open. Just need to be a little more patient. Fleet pajamas is just jargon, support, resistance, fancy words for different trade. Yep, I agree. Because for the most part, we're all probably looking at very similar things when it scalping wise and that type of thing. What I call one thing, someone would be, what are you talking about? But it will probably mean exact same as someone else who might refer to it as something else. For instance, I just call it support resistance. Others call it order blocks, or I don't know, what else do you call it? But you get the picture. Yep, basically the same. Yep. Even my entries, to be honest, they all come down to candle catalyst. The only difference in why they're called different names is just based on where they're at on the chart. So I'm looking at buy from support. It's a support resistance buy. It was buy from support, obviously. If I'm looking at buy above the resistance, then it's either going to be the impulse breakout, but more likely going to be the zone to zone closure above. But for the most part, I'm always looking for the same sort of catalyst, and that is candle closures such as engulfing candles, liquidity candles. And that's the more important thing, is what type of closure you get at the level you've predetermined to be one that you want to be involved in the charts. And again, a big strength of mine is discipline and having the patience to wait for price to move to that level. So not that this was a big win, it was only a small win, but a win's a win. But what I did mention is let it create the move, let it reject, and there's your potential entry. It so happens to be as pulled back within the Asian range, so I do believe off the back of that there could be a higher chance of us popping up, but we do have some more resistance here at 42.10 that we need to, you know, push past in order for me to be convinced that we could be ready to continue bullish. Fleet Pajamas Day is 100% correct. I always say that. Say it nearly every single stream, sometimes multiple times. Price action, we react based on what we see, and we don't assume what's going to happen. We don't predict, we react to what is happening. So these candles are my signals. So often people ask me, we're going up or down, can I buy now, can I sell now? When can I buy, when can I sell? I don't know, guys. I know roughly where I want to get involved, and I know what I want to see, but without that confirmation, I can't tell you when or where. Because again, this candle, for instance, could rip straight up and it's broken past the level of interest for me. Maybe it's pushed too far, then I need to reassess, like I mentioned a bit earlier. Maybe look for an interruption entry, for instance. Fleet Pajamas, hence why the signal sellers are all scam. Yep, I agree. For the most part, they are. And I know for a fact, because again, not that we definitely weren't scamming, but I was involved in a signal service in a previous group. And I can tell you for a fact that not every trader took life, because I didn't want to blow my account taking millions of trades. So pretty much we were told to trade this one particular strategy that I hadn't even back tested myself properly. And just trusting it. And I looked at it sometimes and thought, but you're right at consolidation, or it's right at a resistance or a support. How can I even call this? I feel guilty. And I actually approached the person. I said to him, look, if I'm going to do it, let me trade it my way. So we're not going to get a million trades a day, but I'm going to feel comfortable. I'm not, you know, I'm going to feel confident. I'm going to take the trades on my live account, because the trades are only, I would literally take myself, and it's full transparency. People appreciate it. And honestly, I'm not just saying this, but the win rate went up so much after that. And it was just me doing it by myself in the end. But it was just too much, because I don't like sitting on the charts for hours and hours on end. I can't stand it. For me, I don't want the charts to dictate my life. I sit there for a couple hours a day maximum. I do not have a signal service. I do not call signals. I do have trade ideas in my group, which if I'm on the charts and not either on the group call or on the stream, and I am going to take a trade, I always let the guys know. I always let the team know what I'm looking at. I'll send in a chart. I'll send in a little bit of a description as to what I'm looking at, but it's not a signal service by any stretch of the imagination. And it's not daily. Maybe it's once a week sometimes. Sometimes not even, because I'm usually in trade on the calls, or Fleet Pajamas, because nature of trading is reactionary. Yep. Yarrow B, London going to open 4 minutes. Yep. Fleet Pajamas, it's not that signals don't work, but the model must be identical to trading risk management. Yeah, true. And not everyone knows as well how to manage their own risk. That's another issue. Steve, now gold could go either way. We'll know around 8:15 to 8:30. Okay, fair enough. I have to wait and see, I suppose. AWS Multimedia, how many pips profit is good for your strategy? Because it's mostly pumps back and you're not able to take profit. Look, it just depends. Again, it's a bit of intuition. I mean, it's not the cleanest to the left here, plus the level of 4200, plus the interruption it was tapping into, so on and so forth. There's plenty of reasons why it could bounce to that level. But you guys have seen off late, normally I'm leaving it to go for a bit longer, to at least 20 plus before I'm starting to secure. Today I decided to secure early, and it was the right thing to do. Because yesterday I almost got taken out because I was a little bit stubborn, securing a little bit too early. So generally speaking, it's around the 20 pip mark. We've got London Open, guys, with nothing at all for me to take at the minute. So let's just chill and see how things present in the next 15 minutes. Angwin, thank you for the sticker as well, by the way. I'm not sure when you sent that, but I do appreciate it. Jared, they do, and that reason is because they need to satisfy the needs of the people who subscribe to the service. I remember receiving a message from someone who was paying for the service at the time saying what's going on, because I didn't call a trade for 1 day because I had nothing present in the way I trade, and I had to explain to him that we're doing it differently now. I'm doing it the way I trade. Complete transparency. The only taking entries if I was really going to take myself in. Obviously I was taking myself at that point, so I had to accept the fact that some days it's not going to be a trading day. Fleet pajamas, do you normally wait for London to sweep Asia? Not always, no, but if we are near it, I like to see what happens to that level. Most definitely. Something I mention quite often on stream is let's see what happens if we sweep below, and if we retest it, we end up back above it, or if we end up pulling away from it. That could give us a general idea as to what direction we could be moving in, you know, for the short term anyway. So for Abdi, what analysis about the last 15-minute candle? Last 15 minutes suggests that we perhaps once again grabbing downside liquidity, but it's just the level it's at. To me, it has to pop above this 4210 for me to consider a potential option, because again, could just reject within this consolidation. We could end up heading back down. The prevailing move prior to the entry was bearish, so may suggest that at the moment this exhaustion or this struggle at the current level could lead to another big sell-off. What this pocket here is a pocket of accumulation, so liquidity being built up into the market for it to either likely A, pop above and maybe make a move to the upside, could pop above and then come back down again, who knows, or B, pop down and create the move down. So needs to just be patient and wait once again for the right confirmation. Angwin, yes, my friend, in Melbourne, between here and Thailand, but I do spend more time here past few years. I make beats.co.uk. You're in GU buyers and think buyers look very good on gold. Maybe targeting 42.26. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad target, but I still would want to be above 42.10 roughly. Let's have a look at GU yet again. Yeah, GU is very bullish in my opinion. So as I mentioned, I'll be looking for pullback buys. Fleet pajamas, because customers who buy stimulus are just gamblers. That's why. Yeah, look, I've been there and done that. Not gonna lie, when I first started trading, I subscribed to a service which did include education, but signals, and that was pretty much the main reason, to be honest. Paid a fortune, got absolutely ripped off in every single way you could imagine. Did learn a thing from one of the mentors though, but otherwise got absolutely ripped off. And it was because for the most part, at the very beginning, I had no idea what I was doing. I was even over leveraging. I had no idea. I didn't even know I was over leveraging, over risking. So yeah, for the most part it is because, you know, maybe they don't want to learn for themselves, and maybe they just think they can make a quick buck. That's how I thought it was, to be honest, at the very beginning. Then I realized, hang on, I kind of understand what's going on here. probably best just to learn for myself and, you know, provide my own signals. And that's what happened. Sonny, would you look to buy soon or sell? Again, I can't tell you, mate. I can't tell you when. I just need the confirmation. So what I could do at this rate is now adjust this zone. Now the sells below are going to be a little bit more tricky because it's not really the margin now to the downside, but this is now the current minor range. So I want to be either back above it or below it likely. PS13 Josh, it's way below the MA50. Would you wait for it to retest likely bigger short? I don't trade indicators. No idea, to be honest, because I don't use moving averages. But if that's what you use, and you obviously it's pulled back, or you know, you might be waiting for the pullback and see how price reacts to it. For the most part, it's likely going to line up with a level of support and resistance the way I do it. So yeah, possibly. Again, I'm not saying what you do is not right, but it's just not for me. Mo, it's going up. Not sure at the moment. Should we buy? Again, no confirmation for me. Oh, it's that guy from sells to buys? Potentially. Bleed pajamas, I did the same thing at the beginning. Paid 5 grand, got burnt. Yeah, I paid 250 US a month for about 15 months. Got burnt, completely burnt. Blue accounts as well. Not just, you know, burnt, paying ridiculous amount, but also blowing accounts because I had no idea what I was doing. Gunner, head and shoulders something I look for? No. I just literally just handle price action signals. But again, not saying it's irrelevant or it's a stupid thing to do, but it's just not what I do. Red crypto? No, I don't trade crypto, mate. This is spot gold. Manfred Brian, MI trades need lower prices, trade ADP news, break below 40-200 to make higher lows, seems reasonable to take long entry at 40 to 44. Maybe, who knows. Again, I've mentioned it quite often. What has happened throughout this year is Asian session will tend to push price bullish. Not always, but for the most part. London will consolidate for a fair bit of it and then maybe make a bit of a move. Not always in line with the Asian session, most of the time it will be. And then NY tends to open up in line with the Asian session and then it retraces. And I reckon a lot of it's to do with the big bullion banks trying to keep the prices low because they are so heavy in shorts on both gold, more so silver. Definitely more so silver. It's the most shorted asset in the world. Make it short contracts, so paper contracts to the downside, that followed by platinum. So they want these prices down. Platinum's something that I've probably slept on for too long, and I just got to bite the bullet and actually purchase them. See, I mean, I've got gold and silver. I've not purchased any platinum. Thought about doing it at around 1200 US. Now it's 1600 and I've just neglected it. I do believe it will go up though. I do believe it will reach an all-time high yet again. Its all-time high is 2000 and something. 2300. So that at that point it was platinum used to be more expensive than gold. Will it happen again? I don't know. Platinum is more of an industrial metal. Gold's a monetary metal. Silver is a bit of both. Silver is obviously used to build pretty much anything electrical. Weaponry as well. Solar panels. Pretty much everything you use has a little bit of silver in it. It's also a monetary metal. It used to be, you know, pegged to, or used to be considered legal tender. It actually is considered legal tender now in some states in the US again. You can actually pay for goods. Why would you? P13 PS13 Josh, can you explain your technique? It's pretty much just price action at predetermined levels of on the chart, so look out for my price action catalyst. I have a look at multiple time frames to give me a general bias, but I'm not fixated on it. So starting weekly onto the daily, 4 hour, and then the 15. I mark up my zones on the 4 hour and 15. And I roughly know, well, I do know, not roughly, I know exactly where I want to get involved in trades, and I know, depending on how we approach that level, what I need to see. So you'll just pick up on things the more you watch, mate. A lot of people have learned, especially YouTube, all you guys have learned the bloody interruption entry just by watching the stream. I can tell because a lot of you are talking about it in the chat, and you're not even members, for the most part, the ones who are talking about it. Master Singh, are you Aussie? Yes, I am, mate. Coming to you live from Melbourne. Steve, get that Lambo, kids. Yeah, no, no Lambo for me, mate. I'd be definitely more of a pickup truck type of guy. I do have a Toyota Hilux, not pimped out or anything, it's just, but it's so comfortable. I love driving it. Tamasha Singh, God bless, wish you succeed in all your endeavors. Thank you, my friend, and likewise to you. Alright, just consolidating right now here on the gold, no clear direction. Doing what it's done for quite often during the London session, so just need to chill. To the new sub on YouTube, guys. TikTok, you guys need to jump across at some point to the YouTube stream as well, and make sure to sub just in case, because you never know, if I do go missing on TikTok, they may crack down. They get a bit funny with regulations. I did post a story the other day which they took down, and I have no idea what was wrong with it. Did appeal it, but didn't win. I literally uploaded the exact same story a day earlier, and I had no problem with it. It was just mentioning the Black Friday promo I had for the VIP. So I'm not sure why the second time or was not accepted. McBride, bring the waterfall. Potentially. Again, there is potential for it because we still are respecting what was previously supported to the left. And the move prior to it was a nice strong impulse down. So structure on the M15 is also now technically bearish. That is definitely confirmed now. So yes, there is, I believe now, greater chance of it actually making a continued move to the downside. You got the daily, previous daily closing bearish. But right now it's just in this pocket of consolidation, no clear direction. I'm going to buy the same, go by the same name on YouTube. Yes, exact same name, mate. Exact same. Yeah, we can't lose you, but if you do, you know where to find me. It's easy. Just YouTube. I'm not going anywhere, but who knows? I'm just saying in case I get a ban or something. Steve, you're still in a trade? Fair enough. I mean, it's still, to me, you're good as long as it remains below 42.10, basically. Rob Wood was here. For a long, do you look for a body close, I think you mean, above the wicks, or the body close above the previous body closes? No. Good question. In this case, seeing we're just coming from consolidation, I would need it to close above. Definitely need it to close above. If we were trending, not necessary for it to close above, closure above the bodies, so long as it's within, well, preferably above around the 50% of the zone. So this is the higher zone, this is the, sorry, this is the lower zone, that's the higher zone. So if we had a closure with momentum, so the volume, for instance, would, like so, a strong body candle, that would suggest to me that the momentum is back to the upside lower wick. And then as it breaks above, still the same entry point, but I would consider that a valid entry. But otherwise, yes, the better option is to always wait for the closure. That's the stronger confirmation. And when it's coming from consolidation, really that's what you need to do. Wait for it to close above or below. Retest to make sure it's not going to pull all the way back within it. That should be red, but you get the picture. And as it begins to flip, break above the catalyst candles high into clean traffic, you have, you know, that to on your side as well. There's a high probability it's going to continue to make the move to the upside. It's a good question. Jeff, hello sir, not short on gold. No, I did take a short for a small profit before, but now nothing. The value gap 4193, surely it goes there, then move to the upside. No idea, mate. I don't, about the 20th time in stream, I don't trade fair value gaps, and not having a go at you, mate. You've probably just popped on, but I'm pure price action. There is no fair value gap the way I trade. I have no idea. I can't tell you what the proper fair value gap is. I roughly know, but I don't trade them. Rob, good answer. Not a problem. Thank you for your question. Jeff, all good, mate. All good. It's understandable. I mean, it's a very common way of trading. A lot of people do use fair value gaps. I don't. But you're all good, mate. No worries. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Andres, buy or sell? Nothing at the minute. Success life? Yes, I agree. Need to wait. Jeff, so it's base pure price action, mate, at predetermined levels on the chart. So I do look at different time frames to determine a bias, but I'm not always fixated on the bias. So I start the weekly, I look at the daily, look at the weekly for its candle direction, and look at it against the previous candle's closure as well. I mean, if you just watch the start of the stream, if you rewatch it, you'll get a general idea. The daily, I look at the candle closures and what we've tapped into. So on a daily, I took an entry and a buy limit set at what we call the interruption here. It's tapped into it and bounced off it, and that is a valid entry on all the time frames, even on the 5 minute, but I don't use it on really on the 5 minute. But we use it very often on stream on the 15 minute. Look at 4 hour for structure. The 4 hour structure to me is bullish. So I look at that for the structure, but I also look at the counter probabilities themselves, and that is bearish. So if I was to look for sells, which I was before, that would add confluence to any sells. The fact that we had a lower high, lower low, so that strong bearish candle. Then I'm going to work my way down to the 15 to look also at the structure. And again, marking more levels just to see where we're at on the charts, and that would also determine where I want to get involved in trades. So price action catalyst will all depend on how we approach a level, what I need to see. But again, if you just watch the streams more regularly, you'll pick up on those sort of catalysts. And to the other Chamberlain, welcome, my friend, Mr. Benny Chamberlain. Hope you're well, brother. Always good to have you on the stream. Definitely need a chat. I know we keep saying it. We're both busy, but still got your back, brother. I'm always here for you if you need a chat. Currently, do we sell here? Yeah. You be a smart ass comment, but good to see you on the call, mate. It's good to go for funding account, KWS Multimedia. Not if you don't have discipline to pull it off, mate. No, because that's going to test you big time when it comes to patience and discipline. And even if you think you've covered it, you may not have, and you may still get a red flag. So just be very careful. Jeff, who was me, subbed about. Nice one, thank you. Steve, what a rock fight. Bloody hell. At the minute, you're stuck in your entry, aren't you, mate? It's just not going anywhere. Bard, looking for longs. No reason to look for sells. Fair enough. We haven't even broken structure to the downside. The way I see it in the M15 we have, but you may see it differently, and that's fair enough. I'm not going to argue the point. I do believe gold is extremely bullish, but just short-term trading wise, I see that 15-minute structures flip bearish. You got 4-hour counter probabilities bearish. You got the previous daily closing bearish. So I do see potential for it to maybe come down further, but I'd also see potential for it to come up if it closes above 42.10. On the high time, no, exactly. You're 100% correct on that. It's not broken structure on the high time frame. It's definitely bullish. I agree with you 100%. LSL trading, good setup on the daily. Yesterday swept low and closed in range. 1 hour sweep and need bench character and then push. We're going to buy based off the daily. Tap into that level. Backtest 83%. Well, that's good if you're backtesting. It's important. We did a backtesting session yesterday. The members. User buying 2 ounces of gold today. Nice one. There's never a bad time to buy gold. I don't care what anyone says. Store of value. In my opinion, it's going way further than this. It might pull back first, but you can't go wrong. It's gold's money. It's real money. So for me, gold and silver, any day is a good day to accumulate. S13 Josh, hey mate, I'm just going to check my life savings on black. You don't get this? Don't get this? That's fair enough. I mean, it's trading. Just watching candles print and looking to make money off the way they print. Trading games, I have a problem with stop loss. Yesterday I was in good trade, but I got hit first, then price went. Yeah, it happens, mate. Yesterday I had the stop loss in the most perfect placement. It spared him my stop loss by less than a pip, and then I took profit about 5 minutes later. So it happens. You need to have a plan as to where you would like to place your stop loss. For me, generally speaking, it's going to be above previous candle high or low, which a lot of people say it's a stupid place for it. I'm just scalping, so for the most part, I'm going to get the move in my direction more than 80% of the time. Prior to it maybe popping back up, so not so concerned. If it gives me a tight stop loss, it gives me the option to start securing some profits without needing to absolutely rip or melt. Sometimes it does rip and melt, and I get on the end in some decent runners. So especially more of late, I've been getting on the end of some couple hundred pip runners. Well, yes, back tested. That's fair enough. Murad, good day to you. Any crypto here? No, my friend. Don't trade crypto. I occasionally look at Bitcoin, but I don't trade it. Stan Islov, what is the highest TP you think will go for this buy? Well, there is no buy at the minute, but if there was to be a buy and if the right confirmation presented, so closures above this 42.10 roughly, then a realistic target would be back at the resistance 42.24, but it could reject. There are previous levels here on the way up, so I would definitely secure some profit in between. But that would be, in my opinion, a realistic level around that 42.24 sort of region. Elite Pajamas, gold and BTC are the only two assets I trade. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Yeah, I just don't follow crypto. Cuddy image 0D here. Oh, nice one from TikTok. Steve, very true. England, do you enter at market or via limit? Normally sell stop, buy stop, or limit for the most part. Starts to look like a range for next hour or two, Steve. Possibly. I'm remembering, I can get the word out, there is ADP to come, so there is some high pack news, and that they're also followed by PMI, so big day when it comes to news. Alrighty, my friends. P13 Josh, to those who are asking, typically crypto during Oz hours, flat lines meaning little. Yeah, exactly. It is true. It doesn't really do much. Unless something happens out of maybe Korea, because I think they're possibly the second biggest market. I've not followed it for ages, so maybe no longer second biggest market. But yeah, generally speaking, things tend to happen during the New York session. Alrighty guys, so I think that will wrap it up. I'm not going to get an entry in the end of this count unless it shits the bed in the next few minutes, which it doesn't look likely, or pumps to the moon. So I'm likely going to get going. Franco, not a problem, mate. Yeah, I will be on a call with my team, my members, in probably about an hour and a half from now, and just over an hour from now, maybe. And just not to forget, guys, I do still have that promo going for the VIP. It will end this Friday. So if anyone's interested, YouTube, it's pinned into the description. It's in the description. It's also pinned to the chat if you quickly want to look at it. If you are interested, TikTok. If you are interested, send me a message and I'll happily share with you the promo code. The links are all on my profile page. Tomorrow, guys, once again, I do have my sister's wedding, so I will not be on stream tomorrow, guys. I'll be enjoying a few drinks and relaxing. Friday, probably won't be on stream as well. Not really on stream often on Fridays, but I'll see how it goes. But otherwise, guys, do trade safe. Another successful week on the chart. So 2-0 for the week so far. I'll be on with my members later. Take care, guys. Trade safe. Feel free to contact me. Always reply to every message. Appreciate all the support, team. Till next time. Cheers, my friends, and take care. Bye, guys.